meeting for, excuse me, for the Home Advisory Group to order. Please, may I have a roll call? Oh, I'll give you a second. 1 second. We're all a lot of waiting around and then hurry up. And
That's
scramble.
right. Hurry
Yes,
up and
yes.
wait.
Sorry. Take your time. Don't worry.
Okay.
Put it on the pledge of anything with it? No. You know what? I only have so much to say.
Thank you for getting the door.
Times to have an uncooperative
Oh, boy.
recorder.
We're experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Exactly. All right, we should be good. Okay. And call to order. Approximately 11:14.
Yeah.
All right. We are calling roll. Member Barfus,
Here.
Member Bastian,
Here.
Member Briggs,
Here.
Vice Chair Chassie, excuse me. Member Childress, Member Crandall,
Here.
Member Guston,
Here.
Member Heniff, Member Krajewski, Chair LaPlante,
Here.
Member Schwarzy, Member Todorovic, Member Yu.
Here.
We have quorum.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Are there any public comments for today?
There are no public comments.
Okay, thank you. I move to approve the minutes from our Home Advisory Group from Tuesday, October 3rd. Thank you. May I please, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. You know what? There was no chair remarks here. So Mary, would this be a good time for you, or would you like me to sort of make it a little bit of a chair remarks and open it to you?
Sure, whatever you'd like.
Okay, I think let's do that. So Mary Keating is joining us from an undisclosed location. And we're happy to see you. And she has a very exciting announcement to make.
I do. I would like to congratulate Julie Hamlin, who is sitting next to Member LaPlante. Julie has been promoted to the position of Administrator of Community Development. Julie has been with us, I think, since 2016. Is that right, Julie? 2014. She started as a planner in community development, moved up to the manager position, and now has moved up to the administrator role. So this is the role that Dave McDermott had until spring of this year. So I just want to congratulate Julie. I know she's going to do a great job. She's been incredibly knowledgeable and, like I said, has really moved up in the ranks. And so I just want to send my congratulations to Julie.
Thank you so much, Mary. Congratulations, Julie. Welcome. You have big shoes to fill in terms of we loved Dave, and I've already heard such wonderful things about you and people singing your praises. So I'm excited to work with you. Thank you. Okay, we will move on to item number 5. I move to approve the recommendation for approval of the second revision to the occupancy rights under the Violence Against Women's Act.
Second.
Policy clarifying the rights of tenants utilizing Home Investment Partnerships Act and Emergency Solutions Grant funding. We're going to have some discussion on this. Is that correct, Mary?
Yeah, Julie's going to run through sort of the highlights of the changes to this policy.
Perfect. So just a little bit of background, our federal programs that the county receives typically have cross-cutting requirements, and the Violence Against Women Act regulations are one of those. So in 2022, VAWA was reauthorized, and most of these amendments took effect in October of 2022. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development has asked that entities such as DuPage County and covered housing providers make sure that their policies are updated to incorporate these changes. The highlights to the changes include the application of VAWA being expanded to, expanding the definitions of domestic violence, economic abuse, and technological abuse. There is also an added definition of prohibition on retaliation for those that are domestic violence victims, as well as adding the rights to report crime and emergencies if one is experiencing violence under the Violence Against Women Act. Again, HUD has asked us to update our policies, but they are still going to be providing us with additional guidance as far as how we are supposed to meet the different requirements under this reauthorization. So the county has taken upon itself to update our policy to incorporate these new definitions. And this will also be included in the Continuum of Care's 2024 ESG program plan, so that covered housing providers are aware of these changes as well.
Wonderful. Thank you for that explanation. Does anyone have any questions?
I'll just add in terms of applicability. So the way we monitor this is that when we go out and monitor a project that's receiving either home or ESG funds, we actually take a look at the lease and we make sure that the lease includes all of the required language, the required notifications under VAWA. So anybody who's living in an apartment that is being assisted through these funds has to be notified of their rights under VAWA.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else have any questions or anything to say? No, okay. So that's been moved and seconded. Can we please have a roll call for the vote?
Yes, ma'am. Could I get the name of the mover who made the person who?
Well,
That was you.
I moved it,
Okay,
yes.
and then
then
member
member
Guston
Galais.
second.
Sorry, yes, remember, I
The
just
other
did it,
James.
I know. I always make fun of everyone else when they do it, now I just did it. Yes, she seconded
Thank
it,
you,
yes.
thank you so much.
Sure.
All right. We will start with Chair LaPlante.
Aye.
Then member Barfus,
Aye.
member Bastian.
Aye.
Member Bricks,
Aye.
member Chassie.
Aye.
Member Crandall.
Aye.
Member Guston.
Aye.
Majewski is not here. Member Schwarzy, not here. Member Yu.
Aye.
All right, we have all ayes.
Wonderful, thank you so much.
You are welcome.
Moving on to other business, I turn it to Mary, who would like to discuss some things that we passed this morning earlier in committee in our Human Services Committee.
Right, thanks. I just wanted to make this committee aware. So you're probably familiar with, there's something called the community project funding. Members of Congress for the last couple of years have had the ability to sort of nominate projects in their communities to receive sort of direct allocations of federal funding. There were 7 projects in DuPage County that were approved. I think they were all either Congressman Foster or Congressman Caston. Congress is using sort of the CDBG platform to accomplish these projects, and so that brings with it requirements of CDBG, one of which is the need for projects to undergo an environmental review process. Depending on the complexity of the project, the environmental review can be either something relatively simple or can be extremely complex and take an enormous amount of staff time. So after those 7 projects were announced, HUD approached us and asked us to take on the responsibility of completing those environmental reviews for all 7 of those projects. We have the expertise, but we do not have the capacity to take on all 7. And so through a series of conversations with HUD, we decided that we would take on 3 of the 7. We've entered into MOUs with the Village of Addison, the City of Wheaton, and the Wooddale Park District. And so what will happen with those projects is that any time that our staff spends on those projects, we will be reimbursed for that staff time, particularly because we anticipate that there will probably be some overtime costs as we absorb this additional workload without any additional staff attached to it. So I wanted you all to be aware that that's sort of a process that we're doing. There were 4 that we did not agree to take on. 2 were in the city of Naperville. with City of Naperville being their own CDBG entitlement community, we felt like they should have the capacity to take on any Naperville affiliated projects. One was for a nonprofit that we just felt was the learning curve for that project, for that nonprofit organization would be so great that we felt that that HUD would be better to take that on. And then there was one that was from an environmental perspective, we kind of had some concerns about how complex that would be and felt that we couldn't take it on. That project is sponsored by a municipality, so we felt that they should take the responsibility of sort of learning the process and doing that work themselves. So two reasons I wanted to talk about it. One really was just to make sure that you're all aware that that's something that we're doing and our board is approving those MOUs. And the other is for the municipal members. I guess I would ask that if municipalities are applying for these community project funds, it would be really helpful if we would be aware of the project sort of upfront, so we could potentially have some input into whether we thought there might be some concerns about environmental issues, or maybe even give some guidance prior to or during the development of the project that might make this process go a little smoother. We didn't know anything about these projects until after they had been approved. So I just wanted to sort of bring that to your attention and sort of make that request of the municipal members. And does anybody have any questions about that?
Yes.
As a former municipal person, could you give us the list of the projects that you know of currently? And then, at least everybody will know what you know, and if there's something more, they can add to it.
I off the top of my head, I don't know that I could rattle off the name.
I don't
Julie,
think so. Maybe an email. Email's fine.
Follow up with a link to the.
Yeah, that would be.
yeah. Like I said, the ones that we are doing are Village of Addison, City of Wheaton. With the Wheaton one is associated with their the public library, and the Wooddale Park District is the third that we're doing. But we can send you all 7.
Okay, that would be great. Thank you.
Thanks, Mary. Any other questions, especially from our municipal partners? I would like to really emphasize what Mary just said. I think this is a fantastic opportunity for some guidance that would really make this application process smoother and helps, from start to end, I think will be a higher probability of success all around, that there's more involvement and more guidance. So they pretty much know everything. So I'd say if you have questions, please do take them up on their offer for help and guidance. So if no other questions or comments, okay. Well, thank you very much, Mary. I appreciate you zooming in.
Sure.
With no other business, then I move to adjourn today's meeting.
So moved. Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Wonderful. Our next meeting date is December 5th. I thank everyone for your patience. Sometimes the meeting beforehand runs long. I appreciate the effort you make to be here, and thank you for being a part of this. We'll see you next month in December. Thanks, everyone.